Assalamu alaikum. Sadia Bukhari, Director, Mohsinini Resource Center. Viewers, I am here today to talk about citizens' rights as part of Mohsinini Resource Center's virtual classroom initiative. Today we are going to discuss what citizen rights are, what is the historical background, and how are these rights ensured by the Constitution of Pakistan. Number one, let's look at the definition of a citizen's charter. A document issued by a sovereign state outlining the conditions under which a corporation, colony, city, or other corporate body is organized to define its rights and privileges is called a citizen's charter. This concept of citizenship first arose in towns and city-states of ancient Greece, where it generally applied to property owners but not to women, slaves, or poorer men of the community. A citizen in a Greek city-state was entitled to vote and was liable to taxation and military service. Who could be a citizen in a Greek state? In most Greek city-states, only free land-owning men born in the polis could be citizens. They believed that the responsibility to run the city was theirs because A. the polis was made up of their property, B. they had been born there. Some city-states later ended the requirement of owning land for a person to be a citizen. So then what happened? Greek city-states had various types of government. They had monarchy, they had oligarchy, they had direct democracy. However, over a period of time, democracy gained currency. The male citizens of Athens gained the power to make decisions, political decisions, and that is why Athens is often called the birthplace of democracy. In the current day scenario, citizenship stands for equality, justice, and diversity, meaning that a citizen is entitled to an equal treatment before law, is entitled to justice, and is entitled to belong to a diverse background. The contributing factors that ensure citizen rights are universal human rights and laws governing the rule of law. Pakistan-centric issues that are frequently faced by its citizens are due to radicalization, sectarianism, ethnicity, and issues that religious minorities have to deal with. So what is the need of the hour, one may ask? The need of the hour for politicians is to have critical ability, to reduce prejudice, to build tolerance, have understanding and empathy, and an openness to diversity. Because it is only if a politician has the appreciation of what can become of its citizens if they are targeted because of prejudice, because of intolerance, because of lack of empathy, then only can they seriously commit to promoting a critical ability that will ensure that the citizen hardships are lessened with time to promote inclusivity and conflict resolution. How can citizens participate? How can citizens participate to help the government better govern the cities? The citizens can participate by volunteering every time there is a disaster that strikes, like floods that happened all over Pakistan in 2010, 2011, like the earthquake that happens from time to time, and especially that struck the northern areas of Pakistan in 2007. Citizens can also participate by donating. Like right now, Pakistan is facing pandemic and most people are facing economic hardship. So citizens can participate by providing food, by providing provisions to the poorer sections of the society. Citizens can also participate and become a really strong arm of the government by working towards recycling, by taking steps to plant trees, to create an environment which is going to stop the horrible effects that climate change is having on Pakistan. So these are some of the options that citizens have. Another area where a citizen can work is to become part of dialogues during corner meetings with political activists, and raise voice on contentious action and have creative activism to support issues that are closer to their heart. They can also contribute to the policy content and policy focus by being active and voicing their concerns through different mediums, for instance, through the social media platforms. They also need to know what their fundamental rights are before they undertake any kind of activism. They need to know that according to the Constitution of Pakistan, they have the right of freedom of speech, they have the right of freedom of thought, freedom of information, freedom of religion, freedom of association, freedom of the press, freedom of assembly, and conditional right to bear arms. They need to be aware that it is the responsibility of the government, in accordance with the Constitution, to ensure that no person shall be deprived of life or liberty, save in accordance with law. Laws that are inconsistent or in laws that are inconsistent with or in derogation of fundamental rights are going to be void in the face of the Constitution. Traditionally, women were considered as secondary to men in terms of their social role. Various philosophers, including Plato, Aristotle, Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, and Rousseau, used different arguments to arrive at the common understanding and conclusion that politics is essentially a male prerogative, and women are not physically or mentally fit to participate in politics on equal terms with men. However, that is not the case according to the Constitution of Pakistan. In accordance with the Constitution of Pakistan, women empowerment is the responsibility of the government. It is recognized that women empowerment is a process in which women elaborate and recreate what it is that they can be, do, and accomplish in a circumstance that they previously were denied. 7 essential components for women empowerment are awareness of their rights, improved standards of living, equal ownership of productive resources, better health care for herself and her children, higher literacy level and education, increased partnership in economic and commercial sectors, achievement of self-reliance, self-confidence, and self-respect. The social measurable markers for sustainability in women are education, employment, her contact with the outside world, her ability for personal development, economic independence, institutional and legal support that's been provided by the government of Pakistan, promotion of women wings and activists with the help of the government. Some of the national commitments that the government of Pakistan has undertaken for the empowerment of women of Pakistan are National Policy for Development and Empowerment of Women, Protection Against Harassment of Women at Workplace Act, Criminal Law Amendment, Offences in the Name or Pretext of Honor Act, Criminal Law Amendment, Offences related to rape, National Plan of Action on Human Rights. A gender equality policy framework is in place in which the local commitments have been adopted. Gender equality policy frameworks have been put in place, and women's empowerment packages and initiatives have been undertaken. So these are some of the positive steps that have been taken by the government of Pakistan. Also, to uphold the rule of law, Criminal Law Amendment, Offences of Rape Act 2016 has been enacted. Criminal Law Offences in the Name or Pretext of Honor Act 2016 has been enacted. Prevention of the Electronic Crimes Act 2016 is there, and then Hindu Marriage Act 2017 is there. So if we look at the kind of environment that is there for women legally, one would say it is a very conducive environment. The need of the hour is to promote acceptance and attitudinal change so that gender norms can be revised and women can be given their rightful place in the polity of Pakistan. So these are some of the issues that are connected with citizen rights, and I have brought them to your notice. And I have brought them to your notice because A, I want you to be aware of what your rights are. B, I want you to be aware of how a democracy functions. C, I want you to be aware of how you can get involved with the government proactively. And D, I want you to know what are your fundamental rights as enshrined in the Constitution of Pakistan. E, I want to reiterate that a lot of legislation has taken place after which women have been given a safe environment legally. It is for us to educate ourselves. It is for us to be actively involved. It is for us to try and secure our civil and political rights. This was the objective of my presentation, and I hope that you will interact with me by leaving comments in the comment section. Looking forward to your participation. I wish you a happy time. Allah Hafiz.